James, is that Bachelor? No, James Bachelor. I think it might be James Bachelor. From GameIndustry.biz, Google were, quote, committed to protecting and respecting privacy, unquote, with Stadia. Phil Harrison assures streaming services users will be able to create an online persona distinct and different from the Google one. Google has addressed concerns over how it will use personal and private data through its Stadia streaming service. The internet giant has been under scrutiny for how it uses people's information, particularly since it received a record £50 million fine by French data protection watchdog CNIL earlier this year for making it harder for users to understand how to opt out of data processing for personalized ads. Concerns also arose from patent applications likely connected to the Stadia controller, mentioned relatively memory that will store account information and preferences on the device. When Stadia was announced at GDC 2019, questions were raised about how Google will use personal information and other data gathered by the service. GameIndustry.biz discussed these concerns with Vice President and General Manager Phil Harrison. Quote, "This is built on top of Google's very robust privacy and personal information policy, and we will not change that policy through Stadia," unquote, he told us. Well, the account you use for Stadia is built on top of your Google account, but of course you'll be able to have an online persona that is distinct and different from your Google persona. We are committed to protecting and respecting users' privacy every step of the way. Stadia was announced at GDC 2019 last month and will enable users to play video games across multiple devices, from smartphones and tablets to TVs via Chromecast without it needing to install or download. So, interesting to hear them say that, although I feel like they want to get in front of it because of the most recent social media debacle with Facebook and how they brought Zuckerberg to the stand essentially and asked some various questions about like how was this data being used, why is there so much of it, and Google's getting in front of it because they are a big tech giant.
They also had their own situation recently.
Mm-hmm.
Like the CEO was in a Congress meeting with a bunch of old people who didn't know how the internet worked, which was hilarious to watch. Honestly, if you haven't watched that video, go find it. It's absolutely fucking hilarious. One of the guys was like, "So explain to me, sir, how my granddaughter can have a picture of me on her phone. Explain how that works." He's like, "She has a picture of you on her phone?" And he's like, "I didn't send it to her. How does she have a picture of me?" He's like, "Did she get it off of your Facebook?" Like, it's kind of that attitude. Like,
right.
What the congressman was talking was like as if she just got the picture because there's some like weird connection. It's a whole dumb thing. It's really funny. I mean, that's the thing that kills me about people in the internet is there's this fear that Big Brother's watching you. There's this 1986 George Orwellian fucking idea that everything you do is monitored and documented and taken down, and you're just kind of fucked always somehow. And my argument to that is always stop fucking worrying about that. Like, are you murdering people? Are you doing shady shit? Are you money laundering? Then chill the fuck out. Why do you care? If you're not doing anything illegal, there's nothing to worry about. Like, if I fucking walk, like, here's the thing about DoorDash. I'm going to turn on my light while I'm telling you this because this is the funniest thing.
I was going to say, like, you've been talking in the dark.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. So I've been doing DoorDash for a while, and here's the funny thing about DoorDash. I have to walk into a ton of restaurants, right? Mm-hmm. My fucking Facebook sucks right now. Because Facebook's like, "Oh, did you want to go to TGI Fridays? How about Chicago Fire? Oh, did you like Wendy's?" And I'm just like, oh my God, I get it. It's
Hmm.
really bad right now because it just keeps noticing where I am. But I get it. They're just trying to advertise to where they think I've been. It's this like AI like monitoring my locations. Uh and I don't ultimately care. It's just one of those things where I'm like, oh, whatever. Because I understand how it works. And every time something like this happens, like with Stadia and this like fear that it's gonna be monitoring what you're doing, so the fuck what? If you do link your account to Stadia and all of a sudden now you're getting ads for whatever the last game you played was, so
Yeah.
why
At this
what
point,
how does this affect your life? I don't understand.
yeah, at this point, my information, your information, everybody's information is already out there. If you use the internet, your information is already out there. Like Google Stadia, it's not going to they're gonna say like it's not gonna look into your privacy, it's not gonna do all sorts of stuff, but the reality is that your information is already out there at this point. Like at this
Yeah, I
point
mean
it's yeah,
even if it was, it wouldn't matter.
yeah, absolutely. Like at this point, like it you may you may fear that Google may be doing sinister with your data and Facebook, but like the reality is it's already happened. They're already using your data to pander to you in some way, or selling it for money, which they already have. It's just
I'll tell you something that sucks. Something that sucks. So a little bit of an overshare, I think, on this part, but I'm a single guy. Single guys have needs, if you catch my drift.
mm-hmm.
So I've gotten just straight up sex ads
Oh, so
on
furry,
different things.
so furry stuff. Gotcha.
I didn't fucking say that, Anthony, because I'm not you. No, like the other day, I'm not even joking. I was watching something on YouTube, and an ad came up for to go to Adam and Eve's website. And
Mhm.
I was just like, why? Why the fuck did that pop up? Oh, because it's monitoring the fact I watched some porn recently. So it's just a fucking thing, man. Like, it's how they're going to make money. And now here's where it would become a problem. Um, is if it started affecting the choices you get to make in your life. That's where it becomes a problem. Um, if I don't know, man, like I have a really hard time seeing this as an issue. I think people just have a irrational fear of Big Brother.
Do you think it's a generational thing too?
I mean, what do you mean by generational? Like our generation, or older, or younger?
Just the older generation having more of this fear than we do, because we understand what it is, and
Maybe.
like yeah, like we understand what it is, and like we know that our information is already out there, so it doesn't really matter at this point. And maybe it is the older generation just like fearing like, oh, my information's out there, or like, oh man, they're gonna use it to their whim whenever they want to and affect my life. Um,
Literally, that data that's sent out
mhm.
is used by ad organizations to figure out how to more directly advertise to you. Now, I would argue and be fucking like, hey, don't fucking do that if like all of a sudden your email is given out or your phone number is given out or just straight up your identity is given out to an ad agency. No, don't do that. You advertise on my Facebook, you can advertise on my fucking YouTube videos, and that's it, guys. Just don't do any more than that. Like, it's not necessary. I don't need to be driving in the future down the fucking freeway and they have an LCD billboard that all of a sudden, like, as I get closer, like, it switches and advertises directly to me. And it's like, hey, Greg, have you tried the Fleshlight? And I'm just like, what the fuck? I don't need that.
Right, right.
But it's like Google's done a really good job, in my opinion, at keeping stuff safe that needs to be safe, but also trying to make money off of what they think I like and don't like.
Mm-hmm.
So I ain't fucking worried about this.
Yeah, same here.
Nobody else should be.
I'll end it on this from the chat from Jason. This sounds like it comes back to phone tracking, knowing where a phone is the whole time, and had to explain in what was in print to allow help to help find someone who was kidnapped.
Hold on, and had to explain had to explain in was in print. I'm not sure what you mean by that. To allow to help find someone who's kidnapped. What I think he's trying to say is that um, someone was kidnapped. Their phone's location was able to be tracked to the location where they were.
Ah, gotcha.
They were found because of this, GPS in all of our pockets.
Oh,
But
gotcha.
people were freaked out over it. Like people took
Okay.
instead of people going like, "Oh, that's a really cool feature," it turned into, "Oh God, I'm being monitored at all times. The CIA is in my pocket." Like that's what people took.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. All right. Well, it is, I think, that time. Greg here has been